Hello and welcome to another episode of Danarchy. We are here today playing some Armored Warfare. As you can tell, I am ecstatic. Okay, I meant to get gameplay as soon as this released, or not as soon as it's released, as soon as the ban came off, because there's a couple day waiting once it's released. The focus testing, which this is number 4, everybody, just so you know. I absolutely love this game. I love everything to do with it except for the spotting system. I'm sorry to say, if you are not a fan of the World of Tanks invisible spotting system, this one is worse, in my opinion. Now, there are some advantages and disadvantages to what they have done. I will play in a second here. I will literally just hit PvP, but I wanted to explain a little bit before I even showed gameplay because I thought I would just show you guys this. You have your 2 manufacturers, which go down different trees, and you can see these are Russian main battle tanks that branch into the, still the Russian, and then branch into the British, which I'm a huge fan of the British tanks, but I had to go for the classic T-72. Let's be honest, it's a tank, boys. It's what it is. This is the definition, and I captured it. And now I just unlocked the T-72A. I do not have the cash. I am just short, as you can see. So I will show gameplay of that literally, I don't know, in a couple days. Not even, like, because I can get the cash probably tonight, but I would wait a couple days to release the video. I'll grind a little bit out here. Hopefully I'm trying to get the Challenger for you guys. Huge fan. Huge armor for these tanks, and if you actually look, it actually has a scale system, which I don't really like. You can see it works, but it's odd. It gives you little not detailed history, it's just a brief spurt of history. It also has a nice experience system right now, I like. You earn XP from playing games. Once you reach 50%, you are considered proven, which allows you to get usually a proven ability, which is down here, which for this tank just so happens to be a breach lock. It's different depending on the tank. They give you accuracy, reload time, armor sometimes, just small little tidbits that make your tank just that little extra bit better. Ammo-wise, they do have quite a variety that you actually have to work for, which, again, like I was saying, with this XP system, you have separate experience that you earn when playing the tank that allows you to unlock these. So you don't have to save up your experience and spend it on upgrades to just get the tank later. Like, who frickin' cares? Don't be that guy, World of Tanks. I know you, it's you. The World of Tanks did balance it out, though. I'll give them that. But I'm not a fan. I will compare this constantly to World of Tanks. Let's be honest. It's their competitor. Like, who else are we going to compare to? Because, don't get me wrong, War Thunder's in there, but it's realistic. It's not arcade. I would love to see newer tanks arcade. But, listen to me rambling. I can't even comprehend how excited I am for you guys and myself. I got free access to this, actually, not terribly long ago. I have not played any of the other ones. I've only been playing 4. I've been unable and unlucky, but I got a free one for this one. So I am pumped. I thought I would get a video out, a super hyper video if I can. So matchmaking, it's a break. I'm going to leave it in matchmaking because I can talk about a few extra tidbits. As you can see on the front of my tank, there's this armor right here. See that it looks out of place almost, but that's actually one of the unlocks for this tank. It's better rubber rolled steel something. There's actually rubber in here. Listen to me, it's a thing. For better heat and HE protection, and adds quite a few millimeters of steel for AP protection too. So that's pretty cool. Other tanks have full-blown skirts, a lot of ERA, which is for like anti-heat. You can see it has smoke grenades right here. Here are the launchers. The Chieftain, huge fan of this tank also. Like, if you actually read into the history, this thing until the Leopard 2 came out, was like the tank. Like, when you heard the word tank, this is what everybody talked about, because this was the tank. It was the best tank out there. Big 120 millimeter cannon. Just, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. Just absolutely thick armor. It's just a beautiful tank, and it's fun to play. The T-72, I've been playing that. I did not show you guys the other tech tree, which has the Americans and the Germans on it right now. I didn't really show you guys. Gosh dang it, guys. I'm bad. Whatever. I'll show you after. But they have the different tech trees. I'm kind of a main battle tank guy, and I just wanted to get you guys into gameplay. But long story short, this game is actually very interesting. I can't really show it with this tank. I'm sad to say. I wish I still had my T-72, but I sold it so I could buy the T-72A. But it shot heat rounds that do amazing damage, but have lower pen. And then if you hit any kind of ERA, obviously it just cancels it anyway. So that ruins your day. But if you hit, it's a big chunk. But this tank does not shoot heat, which sucks for us. The T-72 to the T-90 all have really good heat rounds. Actually, even the tanks before that, pretty much the T-54 all the way up to the T-90, which is the 1 through 8, which is your top tier there. So they all have these pretty nice heat rounds. I don't know if the T-54 does now that I say it, but it's definitely fun. I definitely love this game. Very arcadey though, like World of Tanks. Sorry. That was a long pause, but I needed water bad. I was talking too fast, so I was rambling fast enough for you guys to have my mouth dry out. But this game is absolutely amazing. I guess I should go over a lot of mechanics. So the biggest thing for spotting, since I was talking about it, I'm very jumpy today. It's very questionable at sometimes. You have to be, if you are a heavy tank, you literally have to be within like 300 meters pretty much to even spot anything, and then that's if they're not behind foliage. So if like they're sitting still behind foliage, they have a chance of you pretty much rolling up at like 200 meters and them freaking pounding you, and you're all upset because you didn't see them. Another huge problem with that is you get shot by invisible stuff all the time, like little things. But this is balanced at the same time, if you think about it, because a main battle tank like this behemoth can absolutely destroy any kind of like small tank destroyers or tiny little, I don't know, light tanks. A lot of the Fox, which is actually just like an armored, I wouldn't even call it a Jeep. I would just call it like armor with wheels and like a little machine gun. Which actually does decent damage, and they're pretty annoying because they're really quick. And if you have like slower shells, they can be kind of hard to hit. As you can see though, because they're modern tanks, if you zoom in all the way, especially with this one, I do have some modules, but they're very accurate most of the time. Like that one was a little bit low, but that last one you guys saw, was like pinpoint, so it's pretty close. Some tanks are a little lofty, the higher caliber ones. Slower rounds, but any kind of AP is very, very pinpoint, really, as long as you let it zoom in. I do like the light tanks in this game, are pretty interesting. They're quick enough that because they have light tanks like the Sheridan here, which go to high caliber, like 105 Stingray. If you don't know what that is, it pretty much looks like I guess miniature Leopard 2? No. Yeah, Leopard 2 I think would be the correct one. So it looks like a miniature Leopard 2 with like no armor. It's like 40 plus millimeters of armor. It's pretty bad. As you can see, we're getting tore up a little bit here. I did push up kind of badly. Jeez, I'm getting beat up in the back. And we ran into a Scorpion. This is another light tank. He shoots mostly squash and heat rounds. No, HE. That's that T64. He shot that heat round at me, and that's what really messed me up there. I'm kind of getting chewed up a little bit here, piece by piece. Yeah, as you can see, our team just kind of getting swallowed. I'm going to leave this footage in, mostly just because I want you guys to see. This is beta, but I will show you guys the epitome of beta. This is also when you play, I guess, full scale. That team, sometimes, you just get chewed up. Like, look at this. It is 9-2. That is so bad. I don't even know what to say about that. But the thing is, though, that I'm okay with it at times, because sometimes you just get those teammates. Like, it's sometimes your fault a little bit, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's not like you can carry in this kind of situation. And this seems to happen a lot in these kind of games, these arcade games. And I see this in War Thunder sometimes. I do, don't get me wrong. But I see it less often. And I really feel like that's just because I play realistic when I play War Thunder, if you guys watch my videos. So I played realistic, and then I played simulator when that used to be normal, I guess. And that really showed me that the games were kind of a lot more even when people had to play slower. But I feel like that was also due to the fact that because of that kind of game, you actually had to look for your targets and look through foliage and just scan the area and move slowly and cautiously and talk to your team. And I feel like that really pulls the better players out, you know? And I kind of feel bad for the guys who can't really play that, you know? Because some people just can't handle either the slowness. I will try and get you guys into a PvE. I don't know if I can get one. But I'll keep talking like I was saying. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm so bad. I'm sorry. I forgot to show you the dealers. But as I was saying, it's just, I really feel like that kind of game that makes your targets harder to find and you yourself to do a lot of the work, I feel like that kind of makes you work together more and kind of brings the team together. But at the same time, arcade has its perks. You really just got to look into it. And if you guys do actually want to care about changing the spotting system like that, you can definitely go check out the forums, go check out Reddit pages on it. There's a bunch of stuff. People are interested. They want to maybe tweak it a little bit more even where it is now. Some people want to completely change it, but go throw your thoughts up there. Because if you guys do want to play this game and see it actually go somewhere good and get rid of a lot of the problems that World of Tanks has, I'm not trying to trash them, but they do have their problems, and they are working on them, but I feel like they don't try sometimes. There's some problems that they could have fixed that they just haven't, and I don't know if it's people who just don't care enough to say something, but I see it on the forums, and it just sometimes doesn't happen. And I understand this is with all games that are online. They're mass MMOs and so on. You have to, but it happens. Okay, now that I'm done ranting, here are your American main battle tanks. Very, very odd, because I wouldn't really pick the M60 to be really comparable, especially at Tier 5, the M60A3. Now, it performs well in game. It's balanced correctly, I believe. With ERA and a couple upgrades, this thing is actually I wouldn't say a beast, but it's definitely a hard opponent at times. It's definitely will compete with the other Tier 5 tanks. Like, it definitely can compete with the Chieftain. It can take it on. It can take on a T-72. A T-72, like I was saying, the heat rounds on it, sorry, go to upgrades, do much larger damage at, so you're running 569, right, for that, but AP 445. Pretty good damage, right? But that heat round is pretty high damage, and if you guys saw, the pen was low enough. And if we go over here, I'm only pushing 388 with my AP FSDS. So you lose that, but you gain some with it. Ammo is actually a problem in this game. Also, really interesting stuff. Like the Sheridan here, it shoots MGMs, ATGMs, other crap, and they they do large damage usually, high pen. The Sheridans don't do too much damage, but you go check out the T90. It also shoots an ATGM out of its main cannon, and large amount of damage, high penetration. The HE, it has a non-damage damage balance ratio, obviously, but they nicely display it for you, which most games don't. They just kind of give you a range and say, okay. You know what I mean? So you can see that, which is kind of interesting. You can see you get retrofits. Here are the smoke grenades. I kind of showed you guys this, but here are your retrofits down here. So just small things that also increase. All your ammo's down here, consumables. Normal. There's just the normal repair, blah blah blah, and there's like candy or something. But if you've played World of Tanks, you know what I'm talking about. Crew skills are, I would just say pretty much World of Tanks, but slightly different. Your captain, as you level him up, you can either pick which side of the tree you want, and then just kind of go down, and you can retrain him if you'd like. I kind of missed a lot of stuff before I started the game. Jeez. If we go back to the dealers, though, now that I'm done looking at main battle tanks, we'll just get those out of the screen completely. You have your fire support vehicles, high caliber light armor, tactical artillery. Artillery is very interesting in this game. I'm not even going to talk about it. Go check out my War Thunder video, War Thunder Moss overview, I think is what it's called. Definitely go over already in there, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm sure. I think that was the last video I put out too, so definitely go check that out. But here are your high calibers. Here's the Stingray. Let's see if I was even close, though. Was I close? So here's your Leopard 2. No. Like, the idea is there. It's got the same... No. We're just going to go no. We're just... Yeah, no. Other things you have, here's your BMPs, which I love these things, actually. I want to play down them sometime soon. But they have everything from, I don't know, slow, fast. It's just, I can't even describe the variety, because they have so many more options now, since they're not going by country, and they're not going by... I don't even know how to explain this to you guys, but there's such a chance of variety of vehicles for this game, because there's so many tactical vehicles from so many countries nowadays, and you just don't see them. Like right now, these are like just pretty much 4 major countries, and that's it. That's what you have pretty much. So here's like Russian tanks. These are American right here. German, for sure. American. Let's look. No, we want details. Go back. Go back, I say. Details. British. Is this whole trying? No, yeah, I bet this is British. A weasel? That sounds like a British thing to do. Now that's German. Okay, so there's a mix in here. I know these are mostly American just because I've seen them a lot. Okay, guys, I'm looking really bad. Oh, there's an American one. I know it's... Okay, I know the Americans use the LAVs a lot. Okay, I can account for that. So, I don't know which ones are exactly theirs. You can see they have a decent amount, so I'm not looking as bad as I did. I didn't know they had those. I guess we must have gave them to them or something. But American stuff for sure. I know this is German. This... Oh, jeez, I'm just calling countries now. That's Russian. Okay. This is German, though, isn't it? Yes! Alright, so... Now that I'm done guessing countries, they do have premium vehicles in already. Definitely. Okay, if you're going to buy a premium vehicle, I don't even know if you can yet. I don't even know if gold is an option yet. We're going to find out. Can you buy gold? No. I guess, why would you? You're focus testing. But I guess they could just keep in your profile that you have this vehicle and you have maybe blah, blah, blah gold. But whatever. You know, whatever. I've seen World of Warships do it. But this, if you guys did not know, a little quick fact, is the MBT-70, which, if you guys did not know, was a tank that was made by the Germans and the Americans that was actually combined by them. They made it together, which this thing is an absolute beauty. If you were reading the stats, high damage, high pen, great armor on the front, and these were actually both the bases for the Leopard series and the M1 Abrams. As you can tell, they're very, very similar. The chassis kind of have the same design, and that's why the M1 and the Leo are so similar. Actually, the American's 120 millimeter smoothbore is actually a German cannon, if you guys did not know. I would definitely check out the this tank right here. The damage rate on this thing is so ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about it. We're just going to pretend I didn't even mention it. Where just nobody saw that. So that is pretty much everything I know. Stats, which I like how they don't say stats. That's cool. You can do platoons. So everybody loves a good platoon. They have, what else do they have up here? Well, they have PvE, which I'll show you guys here in a minute. As I ramble on, global chat, see what he's talking about. Which, by the way, guys, this is the coolest thing I have ever seen. Ready? Wait. Bam. Miniature chat box. I don't know why. That is absurd to me, and I love it. But that's really all you need to know with this game. Right now, the current economics, I don't know if they're keeping them exactly like this, but I am trucking decently hard. I'm playing quite an amount. I should probably check how many hours I have into this. I hope you guys didn't see that in my stats there. No, I don't really care. But also another reason I'm leaving this in here, because I'm the kind of guy who, instead of telling you guys how long the wait times are, I'm going to show you. So, I'm not going to do that to you guys. I guess after my ramblings, I went over overview. I kind of showed you guys a little gameplay. I will definitely show you more gameplay. I didn't know I had this. Definitely should have known I had this. I guess I've had it closed this whole time. If you guys don't notice what this is, same thing as World of Tanks. Another good comparison. Sorry for saying their name enough. Just like edit that word out. We should like beep it. But I don't want to sit here and watch this entire thing to find. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so long story short, this is just a quick little overlay of stats again. It's just a little detailed report, and it's just so you can kind of check out your tank's details. Currently, I don't know if they stayed up to date, because here, I want to see something. If they, so I have that upgraded armor on there. Yeah, see, oh, cool. So if you have upgrades on there, it shows you the current hull or armor, because stock, that's only 195, and it says 395, which is this extra plate that I was talking about right here. So that's cool to know. So they actually do update you and tell you exactly your 0 to 60 time and all that too, which is very, very cool. Not 0 to 60. 0 to 20, okay? If you guys don't know 32 kilometers an hour, it's 20. Or about 20. I think it's late. Alright, thank you for watching. I might as well just call this Senile Ramblings 2. Thank you and good night.